Hello, everyone, and welcome. You are now into my first webinar, so welcome. This is a bride. I'm sorry. This is uh, how to plan your wedding like a pro with my 3 tips. And we are going to dive in. I'm going to enable the chat. Let's see, that is over here. And I'm going to share my screen. I'm just waiting for the computer, which is a little bit slow today. Come on. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, I'm having some technical problems. This is not the program I usually use. I usually use Zoom, and I took a chance on Facebook Live, and this is the outcome, unfortunately. Sometimes they say stick with what you know. This is definitely one of those moments. Oh, let's see. Come on. So we're going to get started. In this module, we're going to talk about how to plan your wedding like the pro. I am your wedding coordinator, and my name is Terrell, PA. I am the CEO and founder to Cater to the Bride. I am a wedding consultant, and you can find me at catertothebride.net, and you can email me at info@catertothebride.net. I hope you all can hear me well, and I hope that you are not picking up any background noise that is going on outside. If so, I will apologize in advance, but we're going to get started. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about how to get to your core vision, when to hire your vendors, specifically the vendor breakdown, how to make a profit from your wedding, and then I'm going to present to you a Bride's Guide 101 in the premiere, and we're going to finish up with live Q&A. So who am I? Like I said, my name is Terrell, PA. I am a wedding consultant that help brides get to their wedding goals. My background is in banking and finance and insurance, and I have been doing that for 17 years, which is way too long. I have a bachelor's degree from Rutgers University. I'm a member of the Association of Bridal Consultants, where we actually work at a higher standard for customer service to make sure that brides get exactly what they need. I am an affiliate of Sandals. I can book honeymoons, destination weddings of all sorts. And yeah, we'll talk about that later. And I have been married for 11 years. I have 2 children. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 1-year-old. So I am on 2 ends of the spectrum with one in college and a toddler. I love fashion, music, writing, and creating. And of course, I love Beyonce for various reasons. But one, because we are both Virgos and we do have something in common. She's a perfectionist, and so am I. And I think that's important in the wedding industry because for me, I want things to be perfect and I go above and beyond to make sure that things are executed properly, just to make sure that the vision and plan is what exactly my brides want. And I think that's important with a wedding consultant. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about me. So in October of 2005, there was a proposal, and this guy over here to the right is my now husband, Jonathan, and that's me. And we were actually in Disney. And he, of course, asked to marry me, and I said yes. And I planned my wedding in 3 months. I know that sounds crazy, but yes, that's what I did. I planned my wedding in 3 months, and it was a success. Yeah, it was stressful, but there were a couple of things that I did so that it made the wedding process really, really easy, and that's what I want to share with you all. Um, so yeah. Um, May 2006 is when we actually got married. So depending on where you're watching this, yesterday was my anniversary of 11 years. How ironic. And I thought I would throw in some photos of my wedding. And this is just some pictures from when we got married, and I thought that would be nice just to show you, that I, uh, did have a wedding. So I say all that to say that, like I said, I am a fan of Beyonce, and before she started with Destiny's Child, and they did a great job at this one song called Cater to You. And that was a song, if you don't know it, it was pretty much about them catering to their men and how much they love them. And I was thinking, like during the time of me starting my wedding planning, so this was like a year after, I was still listening to her CD, and I was like, wow, it would be great if someone would cater to the bride. That would be great, if I really had someone who could take care of my needs, but wasn't so expensive and really just like really, really catered and took care of me. So that's when I formulated Cater to the Bride LLC. It didn't really go that fast, but what happened was after planning my wedding in 3 months, it was a success. And what happened was my friends started to ask me, could I help them with their weddings, which I did. And then after that, I began to help out other brides. And so then I formulated a business, and this is what it is now, Cater to the Bride. And this is what my website looks like. And yeah, so now we are going to jump into the actual meat of this presentation, what you came here for. So where to begin? That's always a big question when brides are trying to get married. They want to know where to begin. And so the planning process starts with the vision. And I thought it would be great if I would give you the definition of a vision. The vision is the faculty or state of being able to see an experience of seeing someone or something in a dream or trance or a supernatural aspiration. In plain English, y'all, the definition of vision is a picture. And a picture speaks 1,000 words. So, my interpretation of this beautiful picture is going to be different from someone else who sees this picture. Maybe for you, it's different. Why don't you in the chat tell me what is your definition of this picture? I would love to hear your thoughts. So I think this is extremely important because when you're working with different wedding coordinators, their background, their vision, their style is different. For me, my style is to make sure that you get exactly what you need and by any means necessary. So if you tell me that you want your wedding on a beach, you're going to have your wedding on a beach. If you say, I do not want anybody changing any of my plans, then I will make sure no one will change any of your plans. That's just my personality. I'm going to cater to the bride. So that is why having a clear vision is important. So how do you get to your vision? You know, a lot of people say you have to have a vision, but how do you really get there? The first thing that you can do to get to your vision is meditate. Meditation is really a big key component to planning your wedding. You have to be able to know what it is that you want first. And if you can quiet out all of the things that are around you and zoom into what it is that you want and really take some time out each day and meditate on one specific thing that you would like to see in your wedding, you will see a tremendous amount of progress. I mean, you have to really get down to the core of what it is that you want. Meaning, when you're at the altar, what does that look like? How many guests are sitting in the audience, you know, in the pews, or even are you on a pew? Are you, you know, in outdoors? Are you on a cliff? Are you on a boat? You know, where are you? What does that look like for you? What does your wedding look like for you? And what is it that you want to see come to life? And the only way to do that is to dig deep, get to the meat of that, and execute it. The second thing that you want to do is go back to your basics, your childhood dream. You know, if you had a dream about getting married, not everybody does, and that's okay. That's why you're going to meditate to help you get there. The second thing is you really need to like think about if you had a thought before that really triggered something of when you were growing up, or something that you thought was maybe out of this world. You know, maybe that's something that you would want to jot down and start to formulate. And then the next thing you want to do is start creating a vision, a board, a Pinterest. And for those of you who don't know what Pinterest is, it's an app that you can use, which is like an illustration of, you can search different colors, themes, places, events, and you can create a vision board, a visual vision board, and that will help you get to your wedding goal. So those three things together, mostly the meditation and the Pinterest, if you don't have a childhood dream or something that you really stands out to you that you always wanted to do, that's a good place to start with your vision. Here I threw in a slide for you of what Pinterest looks like when you are formulating it. And I just took a bunch of things and added it together. And as you can see, you know, I have a bunch of different decor. I have some wine and some people getting married and just things that you can do on Pinterest. Sky is the limit. But what I will say is that if you don't know how to use Pinterest effectively, you can get overwhelmed, and it is important to have a plan going in. And I think that, you know, if it's good to know what you want out of it and where you're going, because if not, you don't want to get overwhelmed. And I think that's important going in with Pinterest, having an open mind of what to expect and how to execute that. So, wedding planning done wrong. It can be stressful, uncomfortable. It can make you scared. It definitely will give you anxiety. And the most thing that comes up with wedding planning done wrong is wedding remorse. And if you don't know what wedding remorse is, I'm going to tell you that that is when your wedding is over with and you realize that you didn't get anything that you wanted. You spent way too much money. You don't know how you're going to pay off your wedding if you did in fact take out a loan, and you're just unhappy, you know, and that is something that we want to avoid. My goal is not for you to be stressful, for you to be comfortable and not be scared and have peace of mind, and so that you have a great wedding. So, what does wedding planning done right look like? Now, this beautiful bride to the right, she looks like she's on cloud nine right now. But so, how do you get there? Okay. Obviously, you want to be stress free, you want to be comfortable, and you want to be at ease. You want to be a happy bride and you want to be stress free. Like, nobody wants to be stressed out on a wedding day. And the only way that you can do that is you want to be a guest at your own wedding. If you're not a guest at your own wedding, then you're just a vendor like everyone else, working as hard as everyone else at your own wedding, and that's not fun. So the goal is for you to be a guest at your own wedding so that you can make a profit. Now, people hear the word profit and they say, oh, I don't want to make a profit from my wedding. I just want to get married and I want to be in love, and I want to have a great day. But the truth of the matter is you do want to profit from your wedding, because a profit doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to gain all thousands of dollars and everybody's going to pay you. A profit is you're going to gain something that is equal to something else. So for many of us, a profit is not going over budget, right? Because that's a pretty good thing. If you do not go over budget and you're right to where you say you wanted it, you executed your plan, your vision has come to life, and you hit your target and you made a profit from that, that's great. If you don't have to overpay, if you're not in the red, you have made a profit. Anything else is gravy. So here's some pictures that I put up here of different aisle, different churches. And I think the key to planning a great wedding is you need to know, why are you planning this type of wedding? What is it that you're trying to convey? How are you going to execute your vision? And when do you begin the process? So I am simply asking in plain English, what is your purpose, right? Because you need to know these, you have to have the answer to these questions if you want to get to the goal of where you're going. So how to create your purpose? You definitely need to have a clear vision. And you're going to hear me talk about vision, purpose, and planning, because those three things will get you to a profit. Okay, so you need to have a clear vision of what you want. Remember, I told you that you need to come up with, set aside some time and meditate, come up with a nice Pinterest board, start zooming in on the things that resonate with you about your wedding. You need to be intentional. That means that you need to have, you want to be purposeful. Like, you want to make an impact. You want to be, when you intend to do something, you plan to do it. So you know that if you plan to get up in the morning at 8 o'clock, you're going to get up in the morning at 8 o'clock. If you plan to order tulips, you're going to order tulips. You want to be intentional. If you say, today I'm going to find my photographer, you're going to find your photographer. So you need to have a plan. And most importantly, you need to have a budget. And even more importantly, you need to have support, and the right support, because not all support is created equal. So these things to all combined together will get you to your purpose. There are various ways that you can create a budget, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But my focus is on getting the right support. And I think wedding coordinators is definitely the way to go, or someone in your family. If you're going at it alone and you don't have to, you definitely need to have someone who's in your corner, who's going to support you. Make sure your vision is coming to light. Make sure that people are respecting you and treating you well. And that's what I mean by the right support. So in this photo that I chose here, I actually pulled it out of my sandals portal because I thought it was awesome. And in this portal, you see this guy in a hat, and he's a butler because they now offer butler services, which I think is fantastic. But this couple is getting white glove service, and it just shows that, you can have whatever you want, and they're supporting them at a whole different level. This is obviously at a very, very high end level. It's exclusive. It's just the two of them, and they're being served by a butler. I mean, that's speaks volumes. So yeah, the type of support that you get, not all support is created equal, and the type of support you get can be very beneficial for you. So one thing I want you to know, if you don't take away anything else from this webinar, is this right here. You are the CEO of your wedding. That means that you are the boss. You control your wedding. You set the mood, you set the tone. Whether or not you want to be the CEO, once you say yes, you pretty much have no choice. You are now the head bride in charge. And what that really means is that you have to think about your wedding like a business. And the better you are at executing your plan, the more purposeful and intentional your wedding will be. So what does the CEO or bride need to know, right? Because if you're the CEO, I'm going to tell you what you need to know. You need to know when to lead and execute your plan. So that means you need to have some things in order to do that, right? So here is how you execute your plan. You need to know who are you going to be hiring, that's your vendors. You need to know how much you're going to be spending, which is your budget. And you definitely need to know who you're going to be entertaining, and that's your guest list. And once you pretty much have these three components in place, your vendors, your budget, and your guest list, you can pretty much execute your plan properly. I think the hardest part for most brides is getting the vendors and figuring out the budget of what you can afford and not going over your guest list. Those are things that you can control. Even with your budget, there's ways to create a budget if you don't have a budget. With your vendors, you want to make sure you have reputable vendors that are not ripping you off, that you can rely on, and that who is going to, be in your corner. And with your guest list, you want to know who you're going to be entertaining. I think like a lot of times, brides at times can go a little overboard if they have too many distractions. So once you narrow down what it is that you want, how you're going to execute, and stick to that, even when it is your guest list, you will be okay, and you will be able to execute your plan properly. So I have created a little cheat sheet for you here. And this is the vendor breakdown, when to hire your vendors. So the first thing that you should do before anything else is pick a date. And you want to be flexible with that date. You probably should have a couple of dates in mind. That way, when you're going to shop around for your venue or your location, which is the second thing, you want to make sure that you have some dates in mind that you can give to your venue or the place that you're looking at. So the first thing, of course, you're going to pick a date. You're going to select your venue. You're going to decide what kind of wedding do you want? Do you want a church wedding? Do you want a non-traditional wedding? Meaning, are you going to be getting married at one place? Are you going to be having a destination wedding, a traditional wedding? Are you getting married at your home? Will you be getting married in your backyard, at a friend's house, at a museum? These are things that you want to narrow down and secure right away. So after you pick your date, you want to secure that location, right? And that is going to keep you on target, okay? So after you do that, or you want to start around 9 months or earlier. I say once you know, you want to really hit the ground running. The second thing is you want to hire a wedding planner, a wedding consultant, a wedding coordinator, someone that can help you. And if you can't hire someone, you definitely want to appoint someone that you trust. That could be your maid of honor. That could be someone that, you know, doesn't have an interest in your wedding. My suggestion is you always should have someone in your corner that doesn't have a interest in your wedding. What I mean is they don't have anything at stake. They're not the ones that's funding your wedding. So they're not looking for anything. They're not looking to call any shots. They're just looking to help to support you and execute your plan. The second thing you want to do is select your photographer, because it takes time to find a good photographer. You know, if you are lucky to have a good wedding consultant, she should have a list of photographers who are willing to come anywhere, go to any state, and are, you know, ready to help you. Then the next thing you want to do, 6 to 9 months, is select your florist. And you don't want to wait any longer after that. And then you want to select your music, your DJ and your band, your invitations, and save the dates. Need to go out no longer than 4 to 6 months prior to your wedding date. And your dress shopping, that should be done a couple of months in advance. So your dress shopping, depending on where you're ordering your dress, you really want to get a handle on that. And I should have put that up top, but after you get your photographer and your location, you want to start dress shopping, because you will have to get alterations, and sometimes that can go up into the week before your wedding. But most importantly, sometimes it takes 4 to 6 months before your dress will even arrive. So you definitely want to make sure that you have ordered that dress and picked it out. Give yourself enough time to pick it out and everything. And then you have your wedding cake, which is 2 to 4 months, and miscellaneous 4 to 6 months. And that is how you, and transportation too, is 2 to 4 months. So yeah. I'm sorry, it's just like moving so slow today. So write in the chat for me, where are you in this process? I would like to know. So if you haven't already downloaded my free wedding checklist, I have it available. You can download it in my Facebook group, My Profitable Wedding. And I think it is in the top portion where it says documents, because this also comes with an Excel file. In your wedding checklist, we talk about the vision, traditional, non-traditional, creative, backyard destinations. But most importantly, the reason why I created this is for you to know what percentage you need to have, what percentage you should spend your money on. And your wedding ceremony should be about 5%. Wedding attire should be about 10%. Photography should be about 9% of your budget. Videography should be about 5% of your budget. Stationery, 4%. Your reception, your venue is going to be 35% of your budget. That is a huge chunk of your budget. 5% is music. 2% is bakery, 6% is flowers, decorations is 3%, and transportation is 2%. Now, in my downloadable worksheet, I have created an Excel that you could just put in your wedding budget, and then it'll tell you a breakdown of how much you should be spending. So I'm throwing this in there for you because I think this will be very helpful. So let's talk about how to make a profit from your wedding. I know most people want to know, most brides, how can I make a profit from my wedding? Like, how can I get back what I spent, or even a little bit more? Maybe you want to make a down payment on your home, or so. These are the areas that you can make a profit from your wedding. You need to save with your vendors. Right? So what does that mean? That means that you have to have a plan for your vendors. You have to know like how you can cut something out of the budget, how you can save with your vendors, with your florists, with your decorations, maybe invitations, your music, you know, whatever it is that you want, how can you cut back from that? And the second thing is you want to create some free options. And you want to cut your budget in half instantly. And one way to cut your budget in half instantly is to have a destination wedding. Immediately, your budget goes in half immediately. I can definitely, we'll talk about free options in a minute, a little bit later, but there are a bunch of free options that you can do that will cut your budget almost instantly. And you want to get creative with your budget. That means that you might want to raise capital for your budget. You might want to use something that is a strong point for you. So if you're a baker, maybe one of your strong points is baking cakes. Maybe you can bake cakes and sell them, and then you use that as, part of your wedding. And that will, give you money to pay for something else. So you want to get creative with how you're spending your budget, who you're paying, and how to cut those items in half. So I want to introduce to you Lisa and Tom to the right, and the guy behind him, that's my husband, believe it or not. This is one of my brides this was one of my high-end weddings. I like to use Lisa and Tom because they're one of my favorite couples. We're friends, and they had a fall October traditional wedding. We executed her vision. Her wedding was stress-free and on time. And most importantly, it was a huge success. And they look so beautiful. They're in love. Now they are on baby number 2. And so, yeah, I just thought that if you see this she's on my website as my marketing couple, because I just think that was one of my awesome weddings, and it was just I really appreciated this wedding, and I like to showcase it. So she left a nice I guess you would say a note on or a review. I like to say a note. But she left me a nice note, and a couple of things that I pulled out from her note was that she said, I really can't say enough about her services, meaning me. From the first time we sat down, we were on the same page, and I couldn't have planned this wedding without her. She made sure every vendor was on time and doing their job. That to me makes my heart smile, because you have so many vendors out there who suck. I'm sorry, but you have some really good reputable ones, but when they come on time and you know that you can trust them, and they're in your corner, it just, that your day is going to go easy peasy. And so, yeah, I for her to say that just made me feel really good. So if you want to read more of this, you can visit this on The Knot, Cater to the Bride, and just click on reviews, and you can read the full review there. So what is next? So I would like to present to you a Bride's Guide 101 in the premiere. These are my 2 online courses that are going to be starting June 5th and June 8th. And here's what's in them. So in a Bride's Guide 101, that is a 12-week course. And in those 12 weeks, we will be breaking down my top categories that will move you along through the wedding process. The reason why it's 12 weeks is because I told you that I planned my wedding in 3 months, which is 12 weeks. And it was phenomenal, and I learned a bunch of things, and I would like to get the opportunity to teach those to you. So week number 1 is the vision. We break down how to find your vision with video and worksheet. Mostly all of the modules have video and worksheet. And we break down your vision a little further. What I gave you was just a little tidbit of the part of the vision module. And the second week is the budget. You get a workable spreadsheet with tools and tools and tips and tricks that will keep you on schedule for your budget. We break down how to save in the areas that are costly, including contracts, wedding insurance, and negotiations. In week 3, we break down venues, locations of all sorts, a video and worksheet. You will learn how to save money, how to pick the proper location for your budget, and unique wedding location ideas. Then in week 4, we break down how much should you really spend on couture on a tight budget and options no matter where you live. That means that doesn't matter where you are, but if you want couture, I'm going to show you how to get couture. We break down how to get the most desirable gowns, where to buy them at any price point, and what is trending. Also, you will get discounts. So we'll go into that a little further. Come on. Okay, so in week 5, we do invitations, details. We discuss how much you should spend on all those little details that bring your wedding together, when to DIY and more, along with color combinations. Week 6, we break down all things flowers. We discuss every flowers at each price point, including places to shop and pick the right flowers in season. Week 7 is time for your selfie. Yes, photography. We discuss the digital age of photography. People, we are in a digital age. Everything is digital. We're going to talk about how to break that down, what that looks like right now, and how to save yourself thousands of dollars with high-end options to DIY. Week 8 is Hey Mr. DJ. We break down how to create your DJ, hire a professional DJ or a band on a budget as well. Week number 9, we discuss when to hire a caterer. I'm a foodie. We're going to discuss why my aunt can't make the food, and if she does, what documentations need to be in place if she does make the food at your wedding. And week 10 is hair and makeup. We break down the essentials for every bride at every price point, and how to create a package for your wedding party as well. And week number 11 is a list for the groom. We uncover the top 5 things your fiance should be doing, how to tackle the documentation. And week 12 is the last week. We will uncover how to handle family issues and problems that come up, the budget crisis, and problematic situations. And that is what's in the course of Bride's Guide 101. So each week we have it's a live online course. We break down the 12 topics, which I just showed you. And what I think is most important is that I give you free options in a few of those modules. So you'll get each module, you'll get a high-end. So for instance, for photography, I'll show you how to get a high-end, a medium, and then a free option. The same thing for your florist, and the same thing for other topics. So how this works is you watch the video before class and complete the worksheet. In the worksheet that moves you along is multiple choice. There is a couple that you have to type in your answers, and I monitor that. So when you type in your responses, it should move you to where you are. For instance, for photography, I may ask you a question like, have you picked your photography yet? How are you choosing your photographer? Is it a high end? Is it low end? Is it a free option? And then I gear you towards that. And then after you complete the worksheet, you watch the video before class, then we talk about, each week we have a live breakdown of each topic. So if it's photography, after you complete the video, that week is scheduled. I believe it's on a Thursday. I would be able to see you, you would see me, and we will have a class, and we will talk about that module and where you are, and then we finish up with live Q&A. Each week we do that for every 12 modules. The second thing is you will have a VIP private Facebook mastermind group up until your wedding date. That is huge. You can ask all your questions in there. I have a policy that no question goes unanswered. If it's something that I don't know, I will find the answer out for you. You also get my vendors list of my most trusted photographers, DJs, invitation companies. And I have people waiting to give you guys discounts. So like right now, I have an invitation company that is waiting to give 15% off on their services. I have DJs, I have venues. And guys, I'm not getting anything from you. These are things that they want to give brides in general. So we just work hand in hand. And then on top of this, I have 3 bonuses. The first bonus, which I am ecstatic about, is the 10-day coordination. So the first 5 people to sign up right now and pay in full on this webinar will get free day of coordination. That means that I will be at your wedding. The other 5 will be in a drawing in the actual Facebook group, and that will be in either the first week or the second week of the course. So you will know right away who's going to be getting the free day of coordination. That's huge. That means that I will be at your wedding. That is value at $12,000 for combined for all of the day of coordinations. It's going to be 10 in total. Like I said, the winners will be announced in class. And then the other part is 3 private coaching calls after the 12 weeks. So it's 4 quarters. The first quarter is this here, a Bride's Guide 101, which I like to call the formation. The only prerequisite to the 3 private coaching calls is that you must finish the 12 weeks because that's going to move you along with your wedding. That way, when I do come in and start answering your questions privately, you already have things in place that we could get into, like the gist of your wedding. And so those 3 sections is called, well, it's 4 sections. The formation, which is a Bride's Guide 101 to 12 weeks. The second part is busy as a bee. The third part is follow up and honeymoon. And this is what it looks like. So the first stage is, like I said, the formation. That's the 12 weeks. Busy as a bee is making appointments, details, testing out the menus, dress alterations. These are the things that I will be working with you one-on-one with. If you need me to look over a contract, things like that, that's specific to you and tailored to your wedding, questions that you may have, you're going to get these private questions outside of the Facebook group after we have done the 12 weeks. Then you should be in the follow-up stage, which is touching base with your vendors, your final details, the paperwork. And then that should move you along to the 4th quarter, which is the last month of your wedding. You should be in a honeymoon stage, and that should be smooth sailing. And you should be waiting for the honeymoon, not in busy as a bee in the 4th stage. So if you do this properly and you sign up for all of this, I will walk you along so that when you are in the last month of your wedding, you are not chasing your tail. You're not going in circles, or you should be nice and relaxed. You should be doing things that are prepping you for your big day. And this is how we will do it. Okay. And that should lead you to your honeymoon stage. So that's what it looks like. This is a sneak peek. I wanted to bring you guys inside the actual course of what it looks like. It's here now. And yeah, this is, once you sign up, you automatically get an email sign up with the provider that I'm using. And this is inside the course of where you will actually watch the video, and then the worksheet is attached. And then you would go into the Facebook group, and then you will ask your questions about your wedding. You will see the schedule for that week. And then that week you will get the Zoom login, and then you will be able to see me and everyone else that's in the class. And we will go over each module or each week, whatever the topic is. If it's vision, I will come in with my agenda, tell you the key points, ask your questions. We will do live Q&A, and then that should move you along to the next week. Okay, so the value of a Bride's Guide 101. For the 12 weeks of coaching, of all the coaching is valued at $6,000. Course savings and free options values and photography $5,000. Flowers are valued at $3,000. Music value at $3,000. The total options is $11,000 just for the coaching. The day of coordination for the 10 brides is valued at $12,000. Private coaching session 3 up to wedding day is valued at $9,000, and the total value of this course is $38,000. That's the value of what this course costs. So full wedding planning with me starts at $5,000. Mid starts at $10,000. High end is $20,000 and up. These are the prices right now of what I charge. Private coaching starts at $250 per hour. I put together this course because I wanted my high-end customers to get the same, I wanted my low-end customers to get the same service as my high-end. So I had to come somewhere in the middle. So price right now for a Bride's Guide 101 is $3,769. I know, do not get your panties all in a bunch. But let me just tell you that if you use one free option from the course, examples, flowers valued at $4,000, the course will pay for itself. This is a steal, guys. $3,000 for this course. If you use one option, the course is free. That means that it paid for itself. If you use 2 options from the course, guess what? You have a profit. So for instance, if you use flowers, the free option from flowers and a free option from music, you should have a profit of about $3,000 minus the $3,000 for the course. So you will have a profit. No matter how you look at this, you are going to have a profit. So you're not going to, even though it's $3,000, if you were using me, if you had hired me, we would, for what I'm offering you, we would be starting at $5,000 and up. So if you're saying, well, this is great, but I really just don't have $3,000 right now, there is one more option, and that is the Premier. And in the Premier, you get 4 weeks of live online courses, just like the 12 weeks. The only difference is you get the vision, the budget, location, and photography. This will get you started with planning, and you do get some free options as well. You do get a bonus module in here, which is crowdfunding, and that will help get you to your budget goals. And the value of this course is $5,000, and the price is $1,569, which is a steal. And again, this is what's in it: the vision, the budget, location, photography. We're going to break down your vision, a workable budget, location, and photography, along with crowdfunding, which is huge because that crowdfunding is going to help you get to where you need to be. And then if you decide, excuse me, if you decide that you want to come over to, after the 4 weeks, you want to come into a Bride's Guide 101, then you only pay the difference. You don't have to pay the full amount. So there is one last bonus. If you sign up while we're on the webinar, so while you are watching this webinar, even if this is the replay, and you will get 35% off, but you must pay in full. So a Bride's Guide with 35% off is $24.50, which is a huge discount. And the Premier is $1,020. And that is a huge, huge discount. Trust me. For what you're getting, the benefits, you're getting live weekly coaching, plus you're getting private coaching of the Facebook group, and then you're getting, on top of that, the mastermind coaching of 3 calls that's going to move you along specifically for your wedding. You cannot beat this. So what's next? Are you ready to plan your wedding like a pro? Let me know. Do you have any Q&As? Do you have any questions? If so, put them in the chat. I would like to know. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we are going to go back here. Hello, hey. And so, yes, this concludes my webinar. I'm going to put the link here. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. I think it's here. I'm going to put the link in the chat that you can click on, and you do not want to miss out on these two courses. They are phenomenal. When I created them both, I knew that they would be a hit, and it's going to save you thousands of dollars if you do what's in the course. Like, you have to do the work. You know, it's not going to magically come, but I'm there to guide you. You know, I'm there to be your support system. If you're looking for someone to be with you every step of the way to your wedding, I'm your girl. I'm going to be there with you from start to finish. I'm going to make sure you have everything that you need. And then when problems arise, I'm going to be the one that's going to help guide you through those problems. So, and then on top of that, for 10 of you, I'm going to be at your wedding coordinating your wedding. Like, how awesome is that? You know, overall, the course pays for itself. You cannot beat this. Right now, this is like the best thing ever. I cannot wait for class to start. So the classes will be, I think they start June 5th and June 12th, if I'm not mistaken. June 5th and the 9th, or the 8th. June 5th and the 8th, I'm sorry. And it's Monday and Thursday each week. And I will answer all of your questions. It will be live and it will be amazing. So, are there any questions? Do you have any questions? I have some questions lined up here that I got in advance. Just gonna see if I can find them to answer your question. Okay, who is the program for? Okay, so this program is for any bride who needs support. You know, if you need support and you need somebody that's going to be objective and help you get to your wedding goal and how to answer your questions and just walk you through the process from start to finish, that is what my goal is to do. My goal is to give you a roadmap to get you down the aisle. That's what I am here for. What platform will I be using? Okay, so for the actual course that I showed you, the little inside, that's Thinkific. And then for each week, our live courses, it will not be on Facebook Live. It will be in a private Zoom class, because I like those better, where you can see me, I can see you, and we can see everybody that's in the class. You can utilize that on your phone. It's good for Android and iPhone, and it doesn't take up a lot of memory. You can just get to the app. It's amazing. So I really, really like Zoom. That's where we will be every single week. And then you have the Facebook Live group, and then you have the 3 coaching calls as well, which is the Facebook group is a private group. It's not My Profitable Wedding. It's a separate one that only the people in the class will have access to. And you will get that once you sign up for the course. You will see the link for that in the actual on the main page. It'll be in there, and then I'll be giving updates as well. So you'll see it. You'll see where everything is. It's so easy. What else? Let's see. Oh, how long will it take to complete the whole course? So the video, I have one video that's 45 minutes, and I believe that's the location. Everything else is 20 minutes. So the whole course, you can get through the whole course in 3 hours if you really wanted to. So if you sat down and you said, okay, I just want to sit here and watch all the videos, hours, right? That doesn't include the bonus videos, because the last video is live. So 3.5 hours should get you through all the videos. The worksheets is at your own pace. It depends on where you are. You will have access to go in and do the actual videos you can go back and watch the videos on your own. You don't have to wait for me to, if you're already, let's say you're going to see your photographer in the next week, and we're 2 weeks away from the photographer, you can go in and see what questions to ask. You can download all of the worksheets of what's in there. I also have, I don't know if I mentioned that you have access to my vendors and worksheets and different, so I will give you like questions that you should ask your photographers, questions for your caterers, like all of that stuff that's exclusive that usually only I have access to, you will have access to, which is phenomenal, right? Yeah, so that is how long it will take the course. Let's see. So you will be, one thing that I will say is that when brides are planning their own wedding, a lot of times you get a little stressed out, and then you don't have access to everything. So my goal is to give you access to everything and keep you from being stressed out. So that's what this course will do. If you don't take anything else away from this course, remember the first thing I said was you are the CEO of your wedding. And number two, my goal is to make sure that you have a stress-free wedding so that you are a guest at your own wedding. That means that last month, you should not be stressed out. You should be sitting back, waiting, or going to get you a facial, or just relaxing, easy peasy. You know, you should not be stressed out, and my course will get you there. I will get you there, because it's not just a course that you watch and you're left alone. That's not what this is. This course is, I'm with you every step of the way up until your wedding date. So that is why the course is priced at what it is. But keep in mind that I am giving you the option that if you pay right now while we're on this webinar, you will get 35% off. So if you're watching this, just click the link. If this is a replay, just click below, and that will take you to my page where you can just click, and all the credentials will be sent to you, and you will get a schedule of when class will be starting, along with everything that's in the course. And then we will schedule out your one-on-one training, your one-on-one coaching, which I'm excited about. And then I also will be announcing the first 5 people who pay while we're on the webinar. I will be announcing shortly, and then in the next 5 would be when class starts. The first week we will do a random drawing, and then those 5 people. So it'll be a total of 10 people. I will be at your wedding. I'm super excited about that. Like I'm excited about the whole course, because I know it has so many great benefits. Like I said, the course will pay for itself. All you need to do is do the work and figure out which options you want to use. Yeah. So that concludes my webinar on how to plan your wedding like a pro. The cart is now open. Do not delay. If this is something that you want to sleep on, there will be a replay of this, but I cannot guarantee that you will get a spot for those day of coronation. The price will still be the same up until a little bit of time for the replay, but I cannot guarantee that the slot for day of coronation. And the last thing that I will say is that remember that you do get a 30-day money-back guarantee, but that is only for the 12-week course. For the 4-week course, you get a 10-day money-back guarantee. So you can test it out. If you don't like it, you can get a refund up until 30 days. For the 12 weeks, the 10-day, you will get you will get within 10 days, because the course is over in 4 weeks. So the difference between the 2 courses is one gets you started if you having budget issues, then you definitely want to be in the Premier, because that's going to get you started. That's going to get you the bonus of how to create a budget and the vision, and that's going to also give you that bonus of crowdfunding on how to do it, you know, how to get things rolling so that you can get some capital, some money for your wedding. So if you need money for your wedding and you want to be in the premiere, if you're already planning because you have the money, but you know, you want some discounts and you're ready to go and you need that coaching and you're already planning or you're about to start, then you need to be in a Bride's Guide 101 where I can coach you along the way. I will be your wedding coordinator with you from start to finish. So what better way to do that? I mean, listen, you would normally be paying $5,000 and up. You're getting it at a nice price of what, $24.50 right now. If you wait, I'm telling you, the price is going to go back up. Once this webinar is done and the replays are taken down, that's only going to be for a limited amount of time. Once that is taken down, it's going to go right back to the $37.69. And trust me, you do not want to pay. If you don't want to pay that amount, then I suggest that you get in the cart now and pay now, because you do not want to miss out on this. And I don't know when I'm going to do this course again. To be honest, I don't know. It may be next year, because usually it takes about a year to plan a wedding. So we'll have to see. We'll see. But yeah, so this is the course. I want you to get in, hit the cart, and I want you to get in class. I would like to see you in my class, and I would like to plan your wedding. So let's do this. Let's get you down that aisle and let's, you know, have a great, great wedding. So that concludes my webinar and my 3 tips on how to plan your wedding like a pro. And if you want more, you know how to get more. All you need to do is click the link, and I will see you soon. Bye.